Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, this is Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Enjoy.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. And as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to have Jordan. He's the keyboardist of Dream Theater, two-time Grammy-nominated and millions-selling progressive music titans. Dream Theater have released their 14th studio album entitled Distance Over Time via InsideOutMusic, Sony Music. It's been 3 years since Dream Theater's released new music. The Distance Over Time Tour of North America was recently announced and kicks off on March 20th in San Diego, California. The tour will run through 7 weeks before wrapping up in Mexico City on May 4th. So, Jordan, welcome to the show, and I've been wanting you guys on here for a very long time, so thanks for taking time out to do this, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
Dream Theater has been creating music for over 30 years now, and Distance Over Time is the 14th studio album. Looking back on the longevity of the band and the way the music industry is today, do you feel Dream Theater is very lucky to still be putting music out for over 30 years, just the way everything is today?
Absolutely. We, feel privileged to be one of these bands that has lasted for a long time, and it's not without a lot of hard work and touring all over the world and, being in the studio a lot, for all the time. And it's been a journey, but it's been really worth it because, we put out an album like this one, Distance Over Time, and the reaction is so great. And everybody's feeling good and excited to get out there on the road again and keep doing it.
How's it been working with InsideOutMusic, Sony Music, since signing with them? Because this is the first album you guys put out with this record label.
No, they're amazing. Fantastic. The person who's basically, running the show for Dream Theater over at Inside Out is Thomas Weber, and he's been following the band since the beginning, and he knows the band probably better than anybody else on the planet, and he's just fantastic and totally engaged and, just really, really helping to make this all go smoothly and give it energy and make it work, and it's a wonderful thing.
It is. It makes everything go smoother when you've got somebody that's actually been a fan and now has signed his favorite, his band he likes to a record label. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just think that we are very lucky to have a record company that's behind us like this. There aren't that many record companies out there today that would care so much and be able to do this. And Inside Out is, just one of those kind of like very unique, music business entities that can make this happen and do it right. And, and it's cool to be in that position.
Untethered Angel was the first single off the new album. However, was it hard to choose between the current set of songs on this new album? Which one would be the first single? Also, for the folks who have not got to hear of Dream Theater, and you must be living under a rock, when they heard this song, what did you hope that they took away from it?
Well, the reason we chose this Untethered Angel song, what made the decision, because there are definitely some good choices, we felt like it had all the core elements. It had, the heavy riffs, it was melodic, it had a good hook. It was just kind of offering all the bits that we think make up our kind of like core sound. So that's the reason that, we put it out there. And I think that, and we just wanted to give something to the people that they would just enjoy, especially if they're longtime Dream Theater fans. This album is a bit of a return to the roots, if you will. It's getting back to basics. And that tune was kind of meant to let people experience, that.
Any songs standing out more to you than any right now, if possible, on the album? I mean, I know it must change. I know these are like your favorite collectible or child, but do you have any that stand out for you?
Well, I would say that from a kind of progressive music point of view, and I'm a tremendous progressive rock fan, like the Pale Blue Dot is probably a favorite from that, kind of point of view or perspective. On the other hand, the bonus track we put out, the Viper King, is another favorite because it's almost the other side of the coin. It's more simple, kind of really just rocking and fun. So those two are cool. But at the same time, I really think that putting out Untethered Angel as kind of like the first initial track was really smart because it's a strong track, and again, kind of like really showing the return to the roots.
Was that something that you guys wanted to do to add an extra bonus track, or did it just fall into lap and say, oh, well, let's just do this?
It was kind of something we had in mind from the beginning, but we weren't sure. Actually, we didn't know which one it would be. We were thinking it was going to be S2N, which is another tune off the album. But then when we were all finished with everything, we were looking at it all, and the way everything turned out, it was pretty clear to us that Viper King was going to be the bonus one.
Now, bandmate John Petrucci produced the album. Does he push you guys hard once he puts on that producer hat versus bandmate?
He's a really good producer. He knows how to work with people. He knows, kind of like the right thing to say at the right time, and he's very smart. So, that's why this works. He can really manage it. There's a lot of personalities in the band. There's a lot of talent. There's just a lot to work with, and I think that and John recognizes the reality of what's going on there with all the abilities of everybody and the situation, and needing to put out a very together, very happening album. So he does a good job. He doesn't he does. Everybody kind of, I think, feels good about our process.
Now, the artwork was created by longtime cover collaborator Hugh, and I hope I pronounced his last name right, Sami. He's done with Rush, Iron Maiden, Stone Sour. How's working with him on this?
Well, yeah, he's been with us. If you Simon, he's been with us for a long time, and he's great. Very, just he's notorious in the album cover world. He's done so many important album covers himself. Yeah, I mean, like John, as the producer of the album, he's the one who kind of interfaces with him and goes back and forth with him. So I know there's a lot of kind of discussion, and Hughes takes this very seriously, and so by the time they finish their conversations, it's dialed in and ready to go.
Yeah, I always like to give the artists a little shout out because I don't think they get enough respect as they do in these interviews. I think most people just overlook it, but there's some great artists out there who's done some cover art that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of shout outs, I mean, one of the people who probably could use a shout out is our engineer for this album, the person who actually recorded it all, and that's James Meslin. We call him Jimmy T. He's a wonderful young guy who we kind of been working with for years, ever since he was an assistant over at Cove City Sound on Long Island, where we recorded, and he's been amazing, and he kind of has come through the ranks with us all the way to actually recording this album up at the barn where we recorded. And he does a great job, and he's coming on the road with us, as well. He did the last tour, he was on the road, so he's become a very vital part of our organization.
What do you hope everyone takes away from this album, or a message you hope to hear while listening to it, or just any of Dream Theater's music in general?
Well, Dream Theater's music has never been really so much about like fitting into any particular fashion statement or any present scene, if you will. It's more about creating, really cool music that you can kind of sink your teeth into, and, you spend a little time and energy kind of investment and listening, and you get a lot out of it. So that said, this album's a little bit easier to immediately digest, if you will. So we just want people to really enjoy it. And, there are certain songs that you can just sit back and just kind of dig, and other ones that maybe you have to not listen to as background music and really kind of go for the ride, and, fasten your seatbelt and just go for it. And then you get, a whole lot out of it. So it's, we make this music to bring people enjoyment, pleasure, to make their heads, spin, and it's an experience. That's what we're aiming for.
Now, this band's been creating music for many years. Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help not let the music get stale, not get bored with it? What do you guys do possibly, or do you do anything differently?
Well, for this album, we were up in the country. We found a remote location, and we just had a great time. We were working really hard, but we were enjoying hanging out together. And, even though we were working long hours, it didn't really feel like that. We were, just getting into it. We were enjoying it. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of energy. So that was the key around, to this, to the recording and the making of this music and this album, was that kind of like fun factor of all being, together up at this barn. And I think it really came through, in the music.
Jordan, do you still see this band growing musically and including yourself from album to album? Do you still see that growth?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we learn a whole lot every time we record, every time we make music. There's always lessons to be learned. And, we take what we do very seriously. This is a tremendous thing for us. It's a responsibility, if you will, to the fans, to each other. It's our business. It's our livelihood. It's our, it's our music. So there's so much to learn from it. And we tend to really take those lessons into everything that we do. And personally speaking, I'm always practicing on different, whether it's keyboard technique or compositional technique. I'm always looking to, reach a higher level and not just maintain what I've got. I'm interested to get better and improve.
What can fans expect at a show from Dream Theater who have not got to see you guys live as of yet?
We have a really great show coming up. It's intense. It's not only, full-on music. Well, this next tour is going to feature all of Scenes from a Memory, which was an album I did with the band 20 years ago when I first joined. So it's an anniversary of that album. So we're doing that, and then the first set we're going to do music from Distance Over Time and some catalog stuff. But plus the musical part, it's also really amazing visual things that are going to be going on. We have our kind of longtime number one lighting guy, Steve Baird, is going to be out with us doing some beautiful lights. And then Wayne Joyner has done some great visuals for, much of the music that we're playing, and that's going to be on the screens. And so when you come out to a Dream Theater show, you got to be ready for a full-on experience.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and now we've got social media to reach out to more folks who may have not got the heard of Dream Theater as of yet, which, like I said earlier, you're living under a rock if you have not. Do you like this that we're in right now to get albums out quicker and plus reach out to more folks?
Well, yeah, I like, there's so much about social media that I like. It's fun to be able to engage people more quickly. If you're, kind of invested in social media, you can really have a good time with it and get some excitement and energy. And again, like the engagement is what's really cool. I'm a big fan of it. I do a lot of live streaming myself and really enjoy being able to reach out to fans all around the world and, get them messages quickly and bring them into fun things that I'm doing.
Dream Theater has a huge library of music. Is there a song that has not been played live as of yet that you would like to add to the set list eventually, possibly?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I can't think of anything actually off the top of my head that I'm just dying to add to the set list. We've played, most everything that maybe some things off the new album, but I can't tell you what we're going to play, what we're not going to play. So, we'll have to have this discussion next year.
I'll take you up on that.
Okay.
Is there a Dream Theater album that you thought should have gotten more respect or that gotten overlooked that people have missed out on possibly? Because I know you guys got a lot of stuff out there.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. And, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is the last album we did, The Astonishing, which, was a bit polarizing to the fans because it was different than a lot of our stuff. It was a little bit more time sensitive or dynamic, emotional, not quite as, consistently heavier. So with that album, I'm actually fine with what happened, but I think that over time, we'll talk in 5 or 10 years and see where it kind of sits. I think something like that just takes more time for people to understand and see where it, kind of fits in the grand scheme of things.
Any bands you're interested in or listening to these days that impress you or give you hope metal will be in good hands once Dream Theater steps away, possibly?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. One of my favorite young bands is Haken. I just really like their music and their particular blend of progressive and metal, and they're really good guys, so I always support them.
Now, I know you guys have played all over the world and things like that, but is there a country that stands out or even shocks you that Dream Theater gets support from, or your guys' music even gets played, possibly?
Well, it's amazing. You know, our touring life and international life is really amazing, and we go places that I'm kind of like sometimes blown away with the amount of support. We were in Costa Rica some years ago, and I was like, oh my God, it was one of the best audiences we've ever played to. It was so supportive. So we're constantly being kind of like surprised by our international reach. Pretty cool. We were in Manila, actually, on the last tour. That was amazing. What a fantastic audience it was.
I'm sure you guys get this a lot, but what's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan or prior or after a show, they say your music has pulled them through a bad experience or gave the inspiration to overcome obstacles or just let them relax and get away from the everyday bullshit that we go through? What's that mean to you guys still to this day?
Well, that's amazing. I mean, you know, like just from a personal point of view, I use music as almost like a personal healing. Mostly, I would say, honestly, I use my piano playing and my piano music to almost like heal myself. And then I put that out to other people to, you know, get hopefully like touch them and relax them or heal them. But whenever, you know, with the rock stuff with Dream Theater, I think it's great. You know, when you can share something that helps somebody, whether it's that they're just going on, they listen to the music and they're going on a great ride with the changes, with the energy, and it just takes them out of their, you know, whatever kind of trouble they're going through. That's fantastic. You can't ask for more than that, really.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Dream Theater's 14th studio album, The Distance Over Time. If you've not got the list of Dream Theater or anything like that, you're truly missing out on a great band. They have some great, great music. And I suggest everybody to get off your ass and go check them out when they come on tour. So, Jordan, thank you guys for your music for over the years. How could folks stay in touch with you guys, tour dates, tickets, things like that? You know the spiel. How can they do that?
Well, we've got a great website. We got a great Facebook page. Personally, I've got all those things as well. There's always a way to, you know, with today's social media and engagement, there's always a way to kind of reach out and make contact. So that's, I would say that's where to look.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure. Hey, everybody, this is Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Enjoy.
Everybody stick around. We got some great, great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link plus our YouTube link. Soon it'll have our Twitch link. And also get out and check out Dream Theater. Jordan, thank you guys so much, man.
Thanks so much to you, man. Appreciate the support. Take care.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.